Sometimes you just gotta get away. Nothing like a scenic highway to help you decompress from the grind of daily life. It is our belief that it's the journey and not the destination that counts. Oh, flying is great and certainly has its advantages. However, you miss fully experiencing God's natural creation. In this video, you'll see some scenic roads that you may want to experience for your next road trip. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride as we take you on a journey to some of the best scenic highways in the western U.S. Our first scenic highway is Route 550 in western Colorado from Durango to Montrose. Starting out of Durango, you may get a glimpse of the pass as the Durango-Silverton train runs alongside this highway, heading into the San Juan Mountains. This highway takes you through the old mining town of Silverton. From Silverton to Ouray, it's called the $1 Million Highway with some jaw-dropping vistas as it passes through Uncompahgre Gorge and Red Mountain Pass. Warning, this highway is not for the faint of heart, with some areas with steep drop-offs and no guardrails. Be very careful, especially in the winter. Our number 9 scenic highway is close to where we left off of Route 550. It is US 50 in Colorado. In Nevada, US 50 is known as the loneliest highway. Not so in Colorado. This highway runs from Grand Junction to Pueblo, but the real scenic parts are from Montrose to Canyon City. Shortly east of Montrose, it parallels the Gunnison River. At Salida, it runs alongside the Arkansas River, popular for whitewater rafting, as the terrain gets rockier heading into the deep river canyons of the Royal Gorge. If you are lucky, you may even see the Royal Gorge Route Railroad, which is a great way to see this part of the country. We did a full video on the Royal Gorge region if you are interested in exploring further. We now head northwest to the state of Idaho for our 8th best scenic highway, the drive from Boise to Coeur d'Alene. We are really combining two highways here. First, Route 55 from Horseshoe Bend just north of Boise to McCall, Idaho. This highway runs along the whitewater of the Payette River, leading to the high country of Idaho. Route 55 dead ends at Route 95 after McCall and heads into Coeur d'Alene. But we recommend taking Route 3 north to Route 97, also known as Lake Coeur d'Alene Byway, which runs along the eastern edge of Lake Coeur d'Alene. With a mixture of pine trees, spruces, and Douglas firs, as well as the lakefront, this has to be one of the most scenic highways in the U.S. For our number 7 scenic highway, we move southwest to the first interstate on our list, I-84 from Boardman to Portland, Oregon. It runs along the vast Columbia River for 140 miles through the Cascade Range. The Columbia River divides Oregon with Washington. We also recommend to travel across the Columbia River at one of the 4 bridges along this stretch of Interstate 84, like Bridge of the Gods at Cascade Locks. On the Washington side is the Lewis and Clark Highway, Route 14, which will give you a better view of Bonneville Dam. However, Multnomah Falls is on the Oregon side, so you will want to be on I-84 if you would like to see that. For our 6th scenic road, we move to the southwest U.S., the state of Arizona, Route 89A. We begin just south of Flagstaff, headed towards Sedona. This scenic highway winds around through Oak Creek Canyon towards Sedona. As you travel south, the Ponderosa Pine Forest gives way to the colorful steep canyon walls and red rock buttes. In downtown Sedona, you can enjoy art galleries, shops, spas, or take a pink Jeep tour and go deeper into the trails of Red Rock State Park. We now move to Northern California for our number 5 best scenic highway, where you can see an amazing natural wonder. The Redwood Highway, 175 miles long, begins at the California-Oregon border near Crescent City and extends to Leggett. This highway at times runs along the coast for great views of the Pacific Ocean, as well as turning more inland deep into the redwoods. Some of these trees are the tallest living things on our planet, reaching 300 to 350 feet high. Just incredible. Many states don't even have buildings that high. Due to their height, they look skinny. But that is deceiving because they are a massive 16 to 18 feet in diameter. The redwoods cluster in groves, so some areas you will have a narrow winding road, but other areas a 4-lane highway. So if you don't have much time, you can move pretty good. Just beware of the highway patrol. They do look for speeders. We now move from a natural wonder to an engineering marvel for number 4 on our list. Interstate 70 along the Colorado River from Grand Junction to Denver. It's great in the summer, but even more spectacular during the winter. Unlike many of our previous scenic highways that experience a lot of road closures due to winter storms, I-70 for the most part remains open. It passes through the Eisenhower Tunnel, which is the longest tunnel and highest point in the interstate highway system at an elevation of 11,158 feet as it crosses the Continental Divide. There are many vistas and scenic areas to pull off and enjoy the beauty. Number 3 on our list is probably number 1 on most people's list. It is the Pacific Coast Highway. I wouldn't argue with you if you think it should be number 1 because it is beautiful and a must for any scenic driver connoisseur. Despite its name, it doesn't start on the coast, but starts inland in Northern California, right where the Redwood Highway left off. It goes through some of the wine valleys of California and crosses one of the most famous bridges in the world, the Golden Gate Bridge. From there, it switches to Route 1 as it follows the coastline from the San Francisco Bay Area to probably the most scenic parts of this highway through Monterey, Big Sur, and crossing the famous Bixby Creek Bridge, which is probably the symbolic landmark for this highway. You do need some time to travel this part of the highway to Morro Bay. Hotels, gas, and fast food are sparse in this area. At Las Cruces, it reconnects with Highway 101 as it enters Southern California and some of the best areas for surfing in the world. In parts of this area, you can camp in an RV right along the highway on the ocean. At Oxnard, it separates again with Highway 101 and is just Route 1 through the SoCal beaches until it ends at I-5 in Capistrano Beach. We go to rugged southeastern Utah for the second best scenic drive on our list. Route 163 and 162. 163 starts at the Arizona-Utah border in Monument Valley. Impressive towering sandstone rock formations, 400 to 1,000 feet, rise above the desert valley floor. It is truly one of the natural wonders of the world. It was here that after 5 runs across the country, Forrest Gump got pretty tired and went home. I would recommend a 17-mile off-road scenic drive that brings you closer and through the monuments. As you continue east towards Durango, 163 becomes 162, and some extremely colorful and textured terrain around Montezuma Creek in the San Juan River. The color of these areas become more impressive later in the day, closer to sunset. And now, the number 1 scenic highway in the West is the Oregon Coast Highway. It is 363 miles from the Washington border to the California border. Natural beauty and wildlife adorn this shoreline with soaring sand dunes, pristine beaches, and bustling harbors. We rated this above California's Pacific Coast Highway because 1, it's completely open to the public. 2, plenty of lodging, fast food, goods and services along this highway. And 3, there tends to be more wildlife here, and the watercolors are just more vivid, that is when it is sunny. I will say there does tend to be less days of sunshine along this highway than PCH, but when sunny, the beauty is breathtaking. It generally takes 10 to 12 hours to drive the full length of this highway. As you go further to the south, you'll generally find it less crowded and a more rugged coastline, more redwoods. We did a full video on the Oregon Coast Highway, which you can see here. Well, we are at the end of our Scenic Highway tour, but I am sure that we have missed some. If you have a highway in the west or east for that matter, since we will eventually be doing the eastern U.S., please share them in the comments below. We are Tampa Aerial Media. We shoot travel promos across the USA. A big thank you to Google for their valuable resources, as Google Maps and Google Earth are so valuable when planning any road trip. For licensing or stock footage of our videos, or if you would like us to shoot your city, area, or venue, please contact us at info@tampaaerialmedia.com. Thank you for watching.